London High. We have these are pre-New York market low. This with this as well. Yeah, we did with these as well. And we didn't get that 5-minute break of structure to the upside. Alright, now 1 hour we are in a downtrend. 4 hour we in a downtrend. 1 hour we also in a downtrend. Asia, London. Yeah. London low. Oop. Potentially SMT right here. Like we talked about yesterday, Nasdaq was more, it's more like a bullish index than ES right now. The D highs are the 22. We just swept it out on Nasdaq, ES. This high we already pushed like way above from this. And we just swept out this high too on the 6, or 26. Thursday, 5th. These are the high that we didn't take it out yet. Could be slow today because the majority of CPI is already priced in. Today we also have jumps. We also have jump speak at 425. Today could be choppy.
Trump speaks today?
Yep, 425.
Holy shit. That shit's about to go up.
Alright, let's walk over this step again.
Yep.
We mark out the section. We mark out the section. The only two chart that we have is these hourly high, these data high, and then we also have Asia high, London high. Same thing on this one, but as we know, Nasdaq is kind of like more bullish index than ES for now. So then they could be potentially making high SMT from here. So Nasdaq sweeping these sweep these London low, right? But then ES didn't sweep these London low. There could be a chance to revert up to the upside. And when this SMT completed, is when this leg and this like when you see this leg and this leg connected, right? Will you?
Yeah.
So then when the SMT completed is when this legs right here go up, take out this high, where SMT completed, and then go down right here.
Okay.
So you usually look for the leg that like connect between the high right here. So whatever the high that like the two legs that connect and then make the high right here. SMT completed when highs come up and take out this high right here. Wait, but it's already taken now though. I mean this high. I think this high's right here.
Are you sure?
No, not sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure on this example, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be this high. But on this example, it's kind of, I don't know. I need to do more research. Alright, on a 4 hour, we are in a downtrend. 4 hour also in a downtrend. An hour, we also in a downtrend, and then we also in a downtrend. But pre-market, we are actually moving up right now. So my prediction is gonna be NQ push up and take out D size, or come up and like, actually it could take out the data high, but I don't know if it's gonna reverse or not off of that.
I think it'll come up and take the highest.
We just gotta see, cause this is where pre-market at 8:30, right? Pre-market at 8:30 it open and then sweep out London low. London low is being swept, so there could be a chance that reverse from here. But if anything, we just gotta look for a continuation trade. But so far, I haven't seen it break any structure to the upside yet. We are technically uh, the most recent high. So when we in a downtrend, right? When we in a downtrend, if we're looking for breakup structure, it's gonna be the most recent low. But there's no breakup structure yet. And there's no inverse value gap as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go take a shit. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ivy. She has no outstanding warrants, but she is suspected in a dozen multi-million-dollar thefts stretching back 20 years from LA to Hong Kong. The agents attacked. No, I just been targeted with this for 10 years. Detective Lopez got close to 2016, but witness disappeared. I can't be coincident. He's in town on the craziest weekend of the year. What do you want me to do? Sign a letter noting officially on her radar. And Nolan, if press on her, they should get her ass out of town. ASAP.
Now is the time that he tells me to leave. ASAP. What he does, you should listen. So?
Suspected in 40 high-end robberies, arrested for none. I'm impressed. He brings you to LA. It's gonna be like Vegas.
Yo. We took out London High. Oh, we been took it out. Oh, wait, no. We just took it out.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hello. Hey, Tracy, welcome back. All right, so let's go through the status where we are with our scripts, and then let's see. I'll ask Shreya, maybe you pull up the tracker. Let's see where we are with remaining scope and see how we can disposition that. Okay. So Shreya, why don't you go first? Tell us how we're going, and then just display the tracker. Let's go from there.
Okay. So yeah, I completed the reports that were originally assigned to me yesterday. And I picked up a few from Katie. So I picked up like I think 4 or 5. And I did find another issue with the VA-ADAP estate report. So the report generated in 10 minutes, but the PDF and Excel were taking an to generate. So I added screenshots to this tab.
Thank you.
But the only thing is for the baseline. So our baseline says that it took like 30 seconds, but it was using a different contract than I used. I used the MFP contract.
Of course.
But yeah, the baseline was a different contract, so I don't know if it would be useful for me to add those screenshots.
I don't think that, I agree. I don't think the baseline is that useful considering it's using a different contract. Well, hold on, let's think about this. So the ADAP, so the VA ADAP report, what are the parameters of that report? Let's start there.
So you have start date, end date, and then I did monthly instead of quarterly for the
That's fine.
display. And then you have to do, sorry, this is like January. The contract number, and then product assignment. So I just did all.
Got it. And then, and so what do the results look like when you do set parameters?
Do you mean like how many lines are in there?
Yeah, I'm interested in what it does. Like why does, because ADAP is a program on the Medicaid side. So like why is it using commercial contracts is my question. Like is it a valid business case? I'm wondering, is it a valid business case to run it on an MFP contract?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because they're gonna say, okay, then, I mean, that's great that it's running 1 hour on an MFP contract, but why are you using an MFP contract? Is the next question they're gonna ask, or at least I'm gonna ask. So I don't know if the team knows that off the top, but maybe that's something we can look up.
Okay.
If not, I mean, I'm just wondering why we're not using like a government contract. Like, I think I need to like study this report in order to understand what it does, so that we can effectively run it. Is my point. And then after that, we can maybe disposition whether or not we're running it correctly. Because the first thing is, are we using it correctly? And if so, then what is the performance with respect to that report?
Okay, yeah, that makes
You see
sense.
what I'm
The only
saying?
thing is the report itself only took 10 minutes, and I felt like the discrepancy between like the Excel was like weird, because shouldn't it be kind of consistent or like correlated?
No, what do you mean, the report itself? What do you mean by...
So the HTML like only took 10
Yeah,
minutes.
it's supposed to run quick, right? Because you have to generate less stuff within HTML. So if you look at other results, you're seeing like 2x improvement, or half there, or even 1/3 of the Excel time. So what happened? Yeah, when you generate Excel, it's more, at least technologically, invasive than, say, for instance, running just a web page, right? So it's a lot easier to generate a web page than it is, filling out rows in an Excel workbook, unfortunately. So that I would expect. I do think it makes sense to find out how to reasonably use this report before we go forth, and because it's a little suspect why we're using commercial contracts on VA. Maybe you tell me it is. That's how business uses it, but I think it's important to figure out how to use this report, how to run this report properly, and do the performance analysis of that. And if you're struggling, and a way to do that is to kind of look up like past testing, Shreya. Yeah, look up like even in Model N's execution of past testing, like go into the past projects, you may find kind of some evidence there as well. So let me know if you need help looking that up. But I'm interested in whether or not we can run it on parameters that are more business like. And maybe the MFP contract is a business scenario. I just think it's important. We need to verify that first.
Okay, yeah, I'll look
You know
for
what I mean?
that. And then I'll get back to you. But that was the only issue I found so far from yesterday.
Okay. And then, so you finished all the stuff that's assigned to you yesterday, and then you picked up some like Katie stuff. Okay, so thank you. So, okay, perfect. I feel, anyway, I did a script yesterday, and it was in the wrong scope. It wasn't part of the 66 scripts. Anyway, yeah, no, it was like one of Tracy's, and I'm like, how come this isn't updating? And then I realized it's not one of the scope we originally thought about. In either case, it works. Rebates work. Okay, alright, cool. So so we've got 6 not started on Katie's side. Samir, how you doing, Samir? Were you able to work on this last night?
No, Joe. Yesterday was yesterday was the first day, so there were like meetings. But today I pick up the not started ones.
Okay, so Samir, so for everybody, they're trying to push up our completion date. So we wanna Model N's completing everything by Friday, and that's why I'm kind of eager to complete our scope by Friday, because Model N can
you know how it is. They're trying to compare us to them. They're doing 160 scripts in like by Friday, so we want to. So Rochelle's trying to ask us to complete this by Friday. So we do have 31 that started. You know, it is Wednesday morning.
Have they approved a change of scope, Joe? What was the original date of completion expected?
The 18th. Wednesday.
Okay.
Next Wednesday.
Have they approved a change of scope for an earlier date? Or have they approved any overtime allotment for the team members? I'm just curious why these are ones that we're not pushing back on. Model N, aside from having resources they can toss wherever, most of their scripts are probably automated. I don't understand why this is an area where we don't push back and say we can't have an earlier completion date.
But we can't have.
Either we
It's-
can't or that
it's-
they change the expectation.
It's a ask, Amanda. So that's what I'm asking the team. Okay, so I get that there's reason to push back. There's another effort we're thinking about doing next week. The reason why we want to line up these schedules is because UAT for business starts next week, and we want to cover that work as well. They want our testing to complete, like just in terms of timeline, right? We want our testing to complete this week, ideally, and then next week we work on a different type of testing, which I'll get into, where we do a database refresh for production. So that's the ask right now. So I'm going through the schedule, right? And after we go through the schedule, we have 31 scripts. We're at a rate of, and these are informal tests. These are informal tests, guys. So we are doing limited screenshots, and we're clicking through the system, and we're testing this as, you know, we're trying to get as much test coverage as possible. So the documentation piece of it shouldn't take us a long time. I did a script yesterday. It didn't take me a long time. Okay, so we have a pretty good-sized team right now. We've got to get through. The ask is to get through 66 scripts. If we can't, then it's my job to figure out what that looks like. But I want to get to kind of understanding what we can do by this week, and then from there I'll work that conversation appropriately. Okay? So that is what I'm bringing up to the team. So originally we were out till Wednesday of next week. We're trying to bring that into Friday of this week. And we're at 31 not started. We have 4 in progress. But realistically, we should be doing around 6 to 8 scripts a day because of the bandwidth, because of limited screenshots. And if we're not, then let's figure out another, you know, what the reasonable number is. All right. Okay. All right. So Samir, let's go through your scope. How are you looking with your work?
Yeah, I haven't completed much yesterday, so I'll pick up the not started ones today.
Okay, and then is it, like, what do you think about Friday scope, Samir?
Friday end of the day, I can manage.
Okay, so at least for your stuff, you're good to complete by Friday?
Yeah, end of the day.
Okay. All right, Satish, how are those 3 in? So what's going on there, Satish?
Those are just the workbooks, just running the workbooks, and since like the job was down, I wasn't able to start it yesterday, but now I'm going to work on that. And that should be good to...
Hold on. So the in-progress ones, those are the 3 reports, right?
No, I finished those. I switched those over to Pass, and...
So what's in progress and not started? Those are all workbook stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like all calculate work workbook, so I wasn't
All
able to.
calculated workbooks. Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
one is
And then this,
inclusion and exclusions, but I had to rerun the workbook to see, to compare to say that it did get excluded and then included, so I wasn't able to do it. Yeah.
so which workbook are you working on next?
I'm gonna work on some like the smaller ones. So the one that I wanted to do was the FFQ, but I was probably gonna start with
Sorry,
NFAM.
what's FFQ?
That was script 248. I gotta look into that workbook just because it was the newer one. But I'm probably gonna start with like the NFAMs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just start. Yeah. Start with the lighter ones. Do NFAMs, the ASPs,
Yeah.
and go one at a time. Go really slow and just again stay away from 4Q. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Just go really, really slow, and in fact, just ping the team if you're calculating any workbook. Just ping the larger group chat because it may affect some of the performance that the team is seeing. So
Okay.
the moment, just use that BCT group chat. The moment you calculate a workbook, ping the group chat. Say, team, I'm just calculating this workbook. Workbook completion is done. Because again, it may affect, because of these jobs, it may affect, because of performance, it may affect some of what the team is doing from a performance perspective. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. So again, just go really slow, Satish, and just again, stay away from 4Q. Ping the team when you start a workbook calculation. Ping the team when you're done. The more pings, the better. Just be extremely communicative because this is performance invasive. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I want okay. All right. And then again, just start with the slower ones. Do you have what other workbooks do you need to calculate, Satish?
It was
So this is
AMFAM
just-
quarterly, AMFAM annual, monthly AMP. I have a BP, but I'm gonna wait.
What
to
is the
finish
BP
that.
test?
Well, actually, I guess it's already failed. I think we should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
good on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the BP stuff is escalated already.
Yeah. I'll just
We had
put
a
that
long
as fail
meeting.
as well. It was
Yeah,
the
we had a
inclusion
long-
and exclusion.
Yeah, we had a long meeting over BP already. So any of the BP workbook stuff, just at this point, don't test it. Just mark
Okay.
it fail.
Sounds good. Yeah, then
Okay.
it's just NFAM annual, NFAM quarterly, FFQ, and I just have to do a rerun of the monthly AMP to see if the inclusions and exclusions. So I'll go through the two.
Rerun.
And,
Okay.
yeah.
And then which monthly are you touching? January?
No, I've been using August.
August is fine. Yeah, August is fine. Yeah, August is fine. August is fine. Yeah, stick with August. And then again, just mark the BP ones failed for now.
Okay.
I'll give everyone an update on BP in a minute.
Yep, I put it as fail now. So all the
Okay, thank you.
BPs.
Okay, so refresh this, guys. So we have. Yeah, just refresh all. Thank you. Okay, all right. So you have 2 in progress, and then the rest are not started.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think. Okay. So once you're done with this, can you pick up some of Katie's stuff as well?
Yep.
Satish?
Yeah, I'll probably be done maybe like today or midday tomorrow, but then I'll switch over to Katie's.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine stuff. But for the failure, just add a folder for the failure and the reason why we're failing it, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
just
and
make sure we're documenting all the failures as to why we're failing it.
okay. Yeah, and I
Okay.
gave Tracy the other report that failed, just to double check. So
Sure.
Once I get that, just that it's running slow or something, then I'll add it into the.
Okay. And same question. You the parameters and stuff. You guys check that?
Yeah, it was Q3 2025. All you really choose is just which workbook, then run it. So I did Q3
Okay,
2025.
so from a parameters perspective, that aligns with how business uses it. Is my question.
Yeah, correct. And it was the same as the one from the stress test, so you're seeing a little different results from like the earlier stress test before the new model came in.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you feel good about that?
Yeah, I think we'll try it again just to see what happens with
Well,
Tracy's results.
try to get last. Like if Tracy figures out that it is a defect, then no point in
Yeah,
wasting time. Okay.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, Tracy. Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted
Hey.
to highlight that for that script that Satish was mentioning, GP 151 Best Origins Report, Best Price Origins Report, it's in this scope twice. So, I don't know how you want to handle
Ouch.
that. Should I just, in my retest, count that as the second retest and test a different workbook? Or do we need to change it?
Just swap it out for a different script.
Just swap it out? Okay.
Yeah, swap it out for something different.
Okay.
Yeah. They did it, like I said, our scope is informal.
Mm.
I sent our scope. I can always just say we flip stuff out because we caught the dupe. I think that's just fair.
Okay.
Because if they saw the dupe, then they'd likely expect us to flip it out. So I'll just tell them that I did that we did that, excuse me. How did it get in there twice?
It might have been one of the items that Katie thought needed to be retested for different scenarios, and then when we removed those, we might have missed it between all the different scopes that we were planning, because we had like 2 different lists.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand. So it was just an oversight. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is what it is. Yeah, just flip it out for something different that's interesting and eventful.
Okay, and then I know you said you wanted it done by Friday. Can I finish this by Saturday?
Saturday's fine too.
Okay.
Just hold on. Let's see. So do we have? Oh, because you are working Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. Just by this, you mean the 8th, right, Tracy?
Yeah, and if there's
Okay.
if I finish, I'll continue working on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And then the only one left is Katie, and between I think Satish, Samir, and I, we can work on Katie's scope by Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just plan accordingly. But yeah, I think 8 by Saturday is fine because you're working Saturday, just right. So
Yeah.
okay, all right. As long as you're not having to force yourself to. Yeah. Okay. All right, and then flip out, and then that dupe. Where does it go? Like who assigned that? Who's it assigned to?
It's assigned to Satish and Samir.
Okay, so one is Satish, one is Samir.
Mm.
Okay. All right, Satish. Oh, so Satish read it the first time. Samir. So Samir needs to flip out and pick something different.
Okay.
Is that?
Yeah, that's fair. I'll just highlight it for now, I guess.
Okay. Samir, you got that? One of yours is a dupe, so just pick a different test.
Okay.
Yeah, it's highlighted. Tracy highlighted it on the sheet. It's the VA Best Price Origins Report. It's a dupe. So, it's in there twice. So just flip it out for something else that you think is super interesting.
Okay.
Okay. And then just update the sheet as well. Okay. But yeah, just flip it out. Okay. All right, Samir, you're looking good for Friday. Tracy, you're looking good for Saturday, and then the rest is Katie's scope, which I think we're gonna split between myself, Shri, and Satish. Okay. All right. So I'll give everyone a best price update just in the 8 minutes we have, and essentially what the plan is for next week, where we think the plan is next week. Sure, you can stop sharing, but we met with Model N yesterday, and what we decided is that, or what we confirmed, and this was a huge, I'll say, win for our team, is that both Manish is the head of IT. He was ex-Model N. He was ex-other things too. He's been in the industry for a while, and Model N, now he's the head of IT for commercialization on the BMS side. So we were in a meeting yesterday. The whole time, Model N, we were working on Hypercare, and this is like since post-January, Model N said, hey, you need these performance fixes, and you need them you're good until the end of the year. Once you get to 2027 volumes, your application right? So again, backtracking to January 2027, what Model N said, hey, we found some performance issues during our performance testing, but the volume we used was 90 million or 85.5 million transactions, and you're good till end of the year, right? So what did our team do? We said, let's validate that, right? So just again, what we did in January is we took TRG, we took our application, and then we started seeding the data in the application to represent half a year and do our test. So Samir, Shreya, we all loaded this data, the team loaded this data, and then we did this iteration of stress testing, and we found issues, right? And those issues are real issues because we took the LAB environment, and Model N took the LAB environment and put it in an internal environment, and then we did a bunch of tests. They validated our issues, right? So we had issues with AMP, we had issues with quarterly AMP, both with filtering and calculation performance times, and dramatically speaking, we had issues with BP, both filtering and calculation times, right? So Model N said to each other, and what we decided is, all right, let's start from scratch. Let's take a build of production, which is like as of February, and let's load data to it, right? So what we did was we took another environment, we took a copy of production, and we loaded 3 million records. That's it, 3 million records. That's it, okay? And we ran a bunch of tests on it. And what we concluded again is consistent with our testing. So the work that we did was very helpful because what it showed is that we in fact have an issue in the first quarter, which means that Model N initial recommendation of taking the build at the end of the year was incorrect. In fact, our recommendation that said, hey, we got a performance issue at the end of the quarter was in fact true, right? So then we then took these issues both with AMP, quarterly AMP, and BP. We applied the build to it, right? We applied the 606 build to it, and that's again what our team is testing. And in all these environments, what we validated and what the team has validated is we no longer have an issue with AMP. We no longer have an issue with quarterly AMP because again, we would have an issue if we didn't take the build. So the build fixed AMP issue, quarterly AMP issue, but the build did not fix BP, right? So Model N said the build, take the build, you need it because it'll fix your issues with BP. Initially, what they said was it's gonna be a cap time of 36 minutes. The next thing they said was, hey, it's gonna be a cap time of 50 minutes, and the most recent analysis suggests that Model N cap time is 2 hours and 20 minutes. So there's this kind of, if you can envision it, there's this steep kind of recommendation for Model N. Initially, they said 36 minutes for BP. With 1 year's worth of performance, they said BP is going to take you 36 minutes to calculate. We dumped 500,000 lines in the application, and we saw considerably worse performance. After the build and after a bunch of testing, Model N has now changed their stance to say that after a quarter, you can expect 2 hours and 30 minutes calc time, and that is getting escalated to the steer code, which is like, all the big shots with Model N and PMS. And it's an issue because initially Model N said that they would propose a 36-minute build, and now the conversation yesterday is that BP is failing, BP performance is horrible, BP filtering is bad, and this is critical functionality within BMS, and Model N solution is not good because initially it's taking 5 minutes to calculate, now it's 2.5 hours, and filtering is horrible on 1 quarter's worth of data. Okay. So, I mean, I just said the whole story. Any questions?
That's just crazy. Questions.
Crazy. the drama, the tea is ridiculous. So I mean, there was, you know how it is. Like every time we do things in the application, they question it. So yesterday was kind of a mix of stuff, but luckily this issue was the headline. Like there was a thing where we had to ask the Model N team to restart our environment because of the test data, but you know, they that wasn't as big of an issue as Model N now changing their stance from 1 year's worth of data taking 36-minute count time to now 1 quarter's worth of data taking 2.5 hours. And is this viable, you know, 1 year, 2 years from now? You know, what is Model N's solution? So that's definitely where the conversation started going, and they owe us kind of a response around that. So that's what I said. Like everything BP right now is failed. Okay. So the next kind of thing we're thinking about doing, and this is what we posed to Linda, is that UAT theoretically starts on Monday. What we might do is, and what I think we'll do is we'll take a copy of production database. So we're going to wipe out our test data. So take your screenshots now, team, and then do another data load exercise on top of production data, just so we can have a kind of a clean slate, and then start doing kind of some volume analysis on that. So that's what we're thinking about doing next week, which I think, you know, is definitely in our wheelhouse. So Samir, we may, you know, need your help for that. So, but yeah, that's the plan for next week, and that's where all this